Okay, so this is part 2 to my video of showing a journal entry, which I showed in part 1, which is I call unconventional. It's not very standard. It's an example of receiving money, funds in a business that's not related to a customer or an invoice, and you just manually populate, so to say, the undeposited funds, and you credit the expense that that money's coming back regarding. Now, being that my example was a cell phone company, and every month you would pay a cell phone company for your service, say you overshoot that expense, well, it'd be the reverse of it. Now you're giving money instead of spending money for a bill. Instead of debiting the expense account, you credit it. This would lower the expense account. So that journal entry was explained. So this is now more about undeposited funds. When you accept money, as I said in the prior video, it goes to here until you make a deposit. So I'm going to close this. And even though my journal entry is not related to the amount in the undeposited funds, there's an amount there. So you have something in your undeposited funds and you want to deposit it. If I open it, everything else has been deposited. See, now we're at a 0 here, except this one check, that's why there's a balance. Could be one or more payments that accumulate a balance. That's how these registers work. I'll do another video on the registers. But it's just how it would look. You have a transaction, and it would either decrease or increase, and then you have a running balance. So, I'm going to close this. Banking, make deposit. You get two boxes that pop up quickly. I'll close these again. Banking, make deposit. This second box that pops up quickly shows one or more, however many deposits or payment forms are in the undeposited funds. Now you see here there's an ACH. I'm going to close this, and we'll go back to previous payments. Receive payment, and you can look at previous ones by going back. I did another example where sometimes a customer pays you with an ACH, meaning they just directly deposit it into your account. Sometimes I hear electronic funds transfer, EFT, but I just put it as ACH. Sometimes they give you a reference number, sometimes they don't. But my point is, whether it's a check or an ACH, whatever form of deposit, whatever form of payment you choose it as, when you save this payment, it will go into your undeposited funds. So when you go banking, make deposit. So when this comes up, you might have a payment here that's an ACH. You might have a check. You might have a credit card. They all come to here. Now, to make a deposit, you choose one or more payments that's going into the bank. I only have one. I'm going to select all, and it checks it. I can uncheck and check here, or select none, or select all. I hit OK. And here's the total of the one or more payments. Hit OK. Then you go to the second box. This is just confirming it's going to my default checking account. It's good to check that. The date you make the deposit, I usually do it on the day I do this entry, so I can always track it a little better. So today's date, and then this memo always populates as deposit. I've never personally seen a need to change this other than deposit. You could put other stuff in here, but you've already got the right account and the date and the amount. So you just save and close. Now, another example is, before I do this, is this one happens to be an ACH. When you accept a payment, customer, receive payments, and it's an ACH, you're not waiting for yourself to go to the bank on that one. So personally, when a customer directly deposits money into our account, they'll send us a form or email me saying, we've done this. So I accept the payment against the invoice or invoices. The money goes into the undeposited funds, and then I come over and I'll make the deposit right away for the date it says it will be deposited into our account. That's just a side note that you're not waiting for yourself to go to the bank. So, but anything else, and even if this was a check method, I can always change that. Doesn't matter. You want it to be correct for what it is. Say there's a check number. I just made that up. And I normally don't edit things here. When you go customer receive payment, you do it here and it should be right. This is just an example. So I'm going to close this. So I'm just going to start over. This is about banking and making a deposit from the funds that are in your undeposited account. Banking, make deposit. The two boxes pop up. I pick the one or more payments I'm depositing. I hit OK. I make sure the account's right, and it does default to my checking account. The date I make the deposit, I leave it as deposit. This amount, say close. One moment. Okay, I'm back. So I've made the deposit. So banking, make deposit. I've got nothing left in my undeposited funds. If I Control A to my chart of accounts, and this is a fake company, my balances are not going to make a lot of sense, as I just do random transactions to illustrate them. Here's my checking account. I'm going to double click, and you get to register. Here's the deposit I made. I had another example earlier. Here it is. And you can double click and open it. So that's how you make a deposit. The undeposited funds are wherever you keep your payments that you receive until they go to the bank. Remember, ACH is just a direct deposit. If a customer does that, you're not waiting for yourself to go to the bank. Just go ahead and banking, make deposit, choose the date it goes into your bank. A lot of this is self-explanatory. I apologize for the pausing. Sometimes my volume acts up. So that's the video, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 was about an unconventional journal entry, an example, and I continued into the undeposited funds and making a deposit. Thank you for watching. Watch for other videos and subscribe. Thank you.